Hi guys, hope you had a great Easter. When we talked to you last time on 5, we gave you some 5 tips for taking better photos. We had some brilliant results sent in by a few people and we love them. So
thanks Jamie for your fantastic picture of your beautiful pregnant wife Becky with a goalpost just on her shoulder.
And thank you Debs for the photo of you and your husband. Perfectly positioned trees right coming out the top of your head, love that.
And my beautiful sister sent me 2 photos, I didn't ask her to, it was great. One of the sun on her face and one of them shooting into the sun. And you can see the picture of the sun on her face. She's got really dark shadows, deep set eyes, dark shadows and a massive shadow under her nose. And the other photo shot into the sun, their faces are much clearer. We would need to edit it and bring the light up a little bit, but it is a much better photo than the other one. So thanks for that.
Thanks guys.
Today we are going to give you 5 bits of advice for your relationship. So your marriage or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, the relationship that you're in. We have been married for 12 years. We are absolutely not gurus on how to do this well.
Well, I like to think I am. No,
of course.
I'm really not.
So yeah, we're not gurus, but we have got lots of friends who've been married longer than we have. And so what we've done is asked them their advice and what their best tip is for marriage. And we thought about what we think too. And we put together 5 great tips for your marriages. So number 1 is communication, and that is number 1 for a reason. It is we think is one of the most important things for a successful, effective relationship. Communication, or really one of our friends says over communicate, which we absolutely love. It is so important to communicate about everything, even if it's really, really hard, even if you're worried about hurting the other person, it's much better to talk about it than keep it inside. And what we would say is when you do talk, don't accuse, just be honest and share how you feel.
So number 2 is time. And time is just all about keeping your relationship fresh and alive. We just always try and make sure we have some time for each other outside of kids and and business and all things that goes on. So the main thing is make real time with each other. So let that be a few hours a week. Let it be 1 dinner out or 1 meal out a month, just together. And then every year, just try and take a weekend away together. And none of that has to be expensive. It could be fish and chips on the beach. It can borrow a friend's house and do a trade, somewhere else in the country or wherever it is. Just make sure you have real time with each other. And that is the most important thing.
Especially when you've got kids.
Yes, when you've got kids.
So number 3 is love each other well. Gary Chapman wrote a book called The 5 Love Languages, which kind of sounds a little bit cheesy, but it's an amazing concept. And actually the book, they've sold millions of copies of it. If you haven't heard of the 5 love languages, they are physical touch, words of affirmation, gifts, time, and acts of service. And the concept is that everybody has or feels loved in different ways. So if you love your partner in the way that you feel loved, they might not feel as loved as what you want them to. So it's a really good idea to understand those languages and perhaps look it up on 5lovelanguages.com, and that'll give you a bit more detail on what they are. But it's a really, really good way of loving each other well.
It is good.
So number 4 is put the other one first before yourself. It's really important to consider, if you both consider that the other one's more important than you are, then it makes you kinder, softer towards each other, more loving and more sacrificial, and it's going to work really well for both of you.
Number 5 is laughter. Make sure...
Your favourite one.
Yeah, it is definitely my favourite one. Do you not hear point 2 about communicating? I'm jumping in. So number 5 is laughter. Make sure you spend time laughing at each other. Make sure you just don't take things like too seriously all the time. Just have fun. make sure you plan in fun, and especially if you've got kids, plan in fun. And if you don't and your work's really busy or whatever, just plan in fun. And then also just make sure you're a team. So be a team, just be fun, be a comedy duo, all those things, but just laughter. Laughter it should be number one.
One of our friends says it's the, I can't remember what this is.
Is it the antidote to not fun? So, laughter it is.
So they were 5 tips or pieces of advice for your relationship, and we hope they come in really useful. But before we go, we just wanted to share one more thing. We highly recommend the marriage course. It's a course really for you to strengthen and invest in your marriage. It's not a counselling course or a course to do if you're in trouble necessarily, but it is a fantastic way to reconnect and to freshen up your marriage if you've been married for a few years. We've done it. It's actually written by a couple called Nikki and Cilla Lee, who go to HTB Church, but it's an international course run in lots and lots of different venues. And we would highly recommend it as a way to invest in your marriage. And
they have just recently re-edited it, redone it, because it was a little bit dated. So it's much better now.
Great reviews already.
And also they do a marriage prep course, which is a course that we also did before we got married. And that was really great for us. Just highlight some stuff, and it meant when we went into marriage, we were kind of already on a good track.
So the link's just here if you did want to check it out, but we do highly recommend it.
So that was us this time. Next time we are talking about
5 interesting facts about Tom and I. So basically a way for you to get to know us a little bit.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See you soon.